So I'm Dave Teal, SNIA Emerald Program Director, and this is a short presentation on support, help, and resources that are available for Emerald testing. And we're trying to summarize and walk you through here briefly what's available to help with this testing. We hope you're already aware of much of this material, but perhaps you're not, and some of it has changed or is newly available, so we're going to walk through it. We're going to walk through it now. So, resources for testing with Emerald 3.0 are available on the SNIA Emerald website at the URL posted. That's really information central for Emerald testing, and we urge anybody involved in testing to be familiar with that site, to go to it for reference information, and to get your materials from there. There are a number of materials that the spec mandates you get from that website, and that's where the up-to-date version are. So in order to be compliant with the specification, there are a number of materials that you are required to get from that site. There's lots of other things available there as well. And if there's anything that you think ought to be there that would be for your convenience, let us know and we will look into adding it. That site is that page is very actively maintained to have the current materials on it, and really it is the definitive source of the current materials for many of them. We're also going to talk about some additional resources that are available that are not on that page. And again, if that list is incomplete, help us to complete it for future reference. So on the Emerald download page, there are quite a few categories of things. So first, there are a number of documents. First and foremost is the Emerald measurement specification itself. And I think you know all about version 3.0 at this point. I sure hope you do. It's the basis for everything we've been talking about this week. The second document is called What Has Changed, SNIA Emerald version 2.1.1 to version 3.0.1. And it walks you through what has changed in the specification between these versions. So that's to help those who have been doing testing against 2.1.1 to transition to 3.0.1. And we think that that's a useful tool for anyone making that transition. If you're new to Emerald testing with version 3.0.1, it probably doesn't help you a great deal. The third document is the user guide for specification 3.0.1. And that's a compendium of information that we believe is useful for testers. That adds information in and around what's in the specification. It's not a normative document, but it's a lot of how-to advice kind of information, much of the same kind of information that comes through in this training course. In fact, the training course, much of the material in this training course came from the user guide, and things that we discuss in the training course are grist for being included in future revisions of that user guide. So look to that as a key resource of advice on how to do testing, how-tos and how-tos and what not-tos kind of information. Another class of information is software and tools for doing testing. So for block testing, VD-Bench is available through the website. The website specifies what version of VD-Bench is allowed for use in testing at a point in time, and it provides access to the website of the owner of VD-Bench and its licensed software and manuals. We're not able to put VD-Bench directly on our website due to licensing requirements from the owner of VD-Bench. On our website are two VD-Bench scripts for controlling testing during block access testing. One is a script that must be used as the basis for online nearline tests, and the other is a script that must be used for removable virtual media library tests. Now, for file access testing, the page describes Spec SFS 2014 and just tells you where to get it and how to get it. Again, we provide links to the owner's website, to the information on Spec SFS 2014 and how to purchase it. If there are any specific version requirements, we list them on the web page. Right now, there are none. Again, due to licensing requirements, we're not able, and other requirements of the owner of Spec SFS 2014, we can't more directly put those materials on our website. For use with Spec FS 2014, there is a file access load driver configuration file that is required for use in Emerald testing, and that file is available directly on our website. That's the file that during the training was often referred to as SFS RC. So this is the source for that file. Well, also for file access testing is SFlow. Now, because SFlow is an industry standard technology for monitoring networks, it's not a particular product. So what we do on our website is link to sflow.org's website, and this is a screenshot of sflow.org, and down here they have a listing of SFlow products. And we've obviously talked this week about some SFlow products that were chosen by Demertech in the work that they have done, and by other presenters in the work they've done. But there are also other SFlow implementations available, and this is where you can find them listed and get information on them. This is probably a good community within which to share information about what SFlow implementations have been found to be particularly useful in doing Emerald testing. So I invite you to think about using this group as a forum for doing that in the future. Also, in terms of software and tools, the COM test dataset generator is required for use in doing the COM testing part of Emerald testing. The definitive version of that tool is available through the Emerald webpage, and I won't say any more about it since we were just through that in sessions earlier today. The test data report template talked about in the last hour. Again, the current version of that is recommended for use is available through the website. It's a simple Excel spreadsheet to download. Finally, in terms of the materials that are actually available through the download page, is the Emerald Testers Kit. The Emerald Testers Kit is everything I've talked about so far from that web page, zipped up into a single file so you can download it all with one click. There's nothing different in it. It's updated whenever any of the included materials change. And as I said, it has everything, all of the materials and tools that I've talked about that we are able to distribute all zipped up in one place. So what's not in it are VDBench and Spec SFS and the SFlow collector, because because it's not possible for us to distribute those. And the training materials due to their size, but they're available elsewhere on the SNIA Emerald website. So again, we recommend you look to that web page as Information Central, and the Testers Kit as the easy way to download the tools and materials that are directly available there. Now, some other tools and references for things that are not directly on the page. The Emerald specification recommends the use of power and temperature meters that are approved for use by the spec power benchmark. Here is where the spec power benchmark list is kept. This is what that page looked like, and there is how to access those lists. We link to those lists so that we automatically, in our references, track any changes to those lists that spec may choose to make from time to time. Training. We have a lot of training material available that should be obvious to you after the last 6 webinar sessions, but the materials from this series of 6 sessions is becoming available. Some of the slides and some of the videos are already available. We will get the rest of the slides up really quickly, and we will get the videos and some other materials up as soon as we can. That takes a little bit longer because it takes some editing and work is required. Materials from a previous update session, an update from 2.0 to 2.1 that was done as a webinar series in July 2015 is available, and a comprehensive 4-day training class done face-to-face in July 2014. The slides and video recordings from that training session are also available. So there's lots of training material available here, and as a follow-up from this week, or this 2 months of webinars, recommend that you look to all of that as a resource. Some of it is still very valid. Some of it has been superseded. The materials that are superseded, we hope we have covered in this webinar series. Next, we have an Emerald newsletter that we use to keep the Emerald testing community informed of interesting developments, information, announcements, and changes. Sometimes we call those mailings the Emerald newsletter, and more often we address them in single topic mailings that we call Emerald updates. If you want to get on the mailing list, come to the Emerald website and click on the appropriate link and sign up to join the list. If you want to look at past mailings, we try to keep those archived on the website as well, so you can look at those. So recommend that if you're not on this list that you sign up for it. We're likely to put everybody who registered for the training on the list, but just to make sure you're on it and with the mailing address you want, I'll urge you to go and join that list if you're not already there. Some additional resources that are less specific, the Storage Networking Industry Association, which is where all the Emerald work is done. This is our website, www.SNIA.org. The Green Storage Initiative is an entity within the Storage Networking Industry Association that oversees its green storage activities, markets them, and promotes them. Its website, www.SNIA.org/green. And if you're in the storage industry and interested in participating in this work more fully and supporting it, please consider joining the Green Storage Initiative. And finally, for SNIA Emerald itself, questions, anything about Emerald, including testing, but certainly not limited to that, you can email emerald@SNIA.org or myself, dave.teal@SNIA.org. I'll get the emails either way, and we'll either answer your question or get you in touch with somebody who can. So that's it. We've been through the array of materials that are available to Emerald testers. Please take a look at them, be familiar with them, use them as your kind of first source of where to go for information. /download/spec v3.0, view that as information central for Emerald 3.0 testing, and view the larger SNIAEmerald.com page as the starting point for any and all information about Emerald, the program, the specification, etc. So that's all I have here. Are there any questions? I guess maybe worth asking is, for anyone who's used the download page to date, or the version 2 predecessors? Has it been useful? Does it provide what you need? Are there things that it ought to do and doesn't?
This is Jennifer at DeMarTech again. We have a system, a program that we run that lets us know anytime there's an update to the site, so we can go and pull it down immediately. Sometimes things go up and there's no official email, so there might be, I mean, it works for us because we have this program, but it might be nice to have a little bit more communication when new things go up, new materials.
Thank you for that suggestion. I mean, that's something we attempted to do with version 2, and I thought we had succeeded. I'd be interested to know if you thought we did or not. For version 3, we have not adapted that progress rigorously, but intend to when we view testing as kind of going live, which is probably, you know, now is probably the time. We didn't feel that burdening the community with lots of emailing while the version 3 materials were being put together was a good idea. But did we achieve the objective of getting emails out when we did updates of version 2 materials, Jennifer?
Yeah, to my knowledge, or to my memory, I think it was good. I was just thinking about how we've had a few this week when new materials go up, and it sounds like some people didn't know the slides were online. But you're right, you probably don't want to send out too many all at once.
Yeah, the slides are not on the download page, so but I expect we'll be sending out an email when the training materials are complete.
Sounds perfect.
Thank you. Thanks for that feedback.